Hi out there in the YouTube world, it's me, the Puzzle Master, and in this little video, I'm going to be able to tell you how awesome you are, astrologically. And anyone who knows true astrology really understands that it's psychology, like all of these things, like the stars and the heavens. Depending on if you're looking at it through a sidereal or a tropical perspective, you're either looking at it as where the stars are, if it's sidereal, or if it's tropical, then that is looking from the northern tropics, meaning like the northern hemisphere, and it has to do with the seasons, okay? Which, my personal preference, I am more for the seasons. I do believe that there are powers in the stars, or in the fixed elements of the stars. That's why in Vedic astrology they can tell us about our ages, because the precession causes a gradual shift to go back and go through each of the zodiac signs. And that to precess means like to go in reverse. So the normal signs that we go like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, well, these kind of things go backwards from that perspective. But to know how awesome you are, it's really simple. Every sign has like a ruling planet, and you can look in your chart to determine how many of your planets are in their home, which is basically, to sum it up, it's if the planets represent psychological components to your psyche, then having many planets in their home means that you're awesome. Like, it's going to bring good qualities to you, compared to, if you also want to kind of find out, I guess, how shitty you are, the number of planets that you have in exact opposition to their home would show hardships. Like, things aren't necessarily going to be easy. And depending on what planet, what sign, and what house, all of these things are totally customized to you. And you have to really know yourself, because everyone seems to think, or at least I used to a long time ago, before I had this astrological epiphany, was that we all thought the same. You know, like we're all like, you know, the same kind of animal, the same creature on Earth, you know, just like monkeys or a type of animal. We can observe their behavior and, like, you know, that's all there is to it. But whoa, I have got to tell you that the deep facets of people's psychology are rooted in the heavens. Like, not only in the stars, if you want to look at it from a synodic perspective, or sidereal, but if you want to look at it because the main two differences between these is that the tropical uses our seasons. So Aries always starts in the spring, after the equinox. It rules the first 30 degrees, no matter what. However, if we're actually looking at it in a sidereal perspective, then it's different, because if you look like in March 21st, or like, you know, when Aries starts after the equinox, depending on whenever that falls, like, because it does change, like, because our calendar isn't perfect, but it always rules right after the part of day, when day and night are equal. It always rules the first 30 degrees after that, from a tropical perspective. But this is where the kind of the controversy gets involved, because the people who want to practice sidereal, that means that they are looking at the stars as they actually are right now. And so when you actually look in the time of Aries and you're born, you're going to notice that, like, well, Pisces is there now. So a lot of people, they get confused. And my personal preference of the two, I find to be more accurate, is looking at it from a tropical perspective. When we're talking about individuals and their personality, because, like, there's different waves of time, and neither of them is wrong. It's just that the stars shift so slowly that shows more of a progression of human overall advancement. But when you want to look into the microcosm at a smaller scale, then you have to zoom into the Earth at a smaller scale. And that's why it uses the seasons. Like, they're all fractals, and they are, even though they shift out of phase, they shift back into phase. And they're just like two different kinds of clocks. But yeah, let me know in the description box how awesome you are. I have a couple, I got some planets in their homes, which I was pretty happy about that, because I was watching a Santos video, and he talked about, and he mentioned Astronomica, or one of like the ancient books, and he read it, and it was quoted, and it said that like if you have, like no person can have all of their planets in their homes, because then they would be like God, and God won't allow that, which is kind of like math, like, you know, odds and statistics and all that. God won't allow that, because that would allow too perfect of an individual. That would be bad. Like, but you can, if you have a bunch of planets in there, then it's really, really good. Like so you'll be blessed by those planets. And yeah, please let me know your feedbacks and all of what you think below. And really appreciate your time, and share this, and let me know what you use. Like, do you prefer sidereal or tropic? Like, what matters to you? Personally, I go more with the tropics, because I think that the equinoxes and the solstices, being like sacred times in the year, everything should be based upon that. Unless we want to talk about the ages, then it is very valid from a Vedic kind of perspective. And a lot of Vedics, if you actually research this, maybe I'll put a link or something in the description, a lot of Vedic texts, or like the areas of the world that people want to associate with that, like being more Eastern, they didn't actually teach that. Like, yes, they had both systems, but they also understood that there was both. Like, it wasn't just like the tropical one was invented. Like, they had both a long time ago. But, love you all, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.